Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm reviving this channel to do some plan with me's in this new planner that I got from Archer and Olive. And today I'm going to be using stickers that I made. I scanned in the back of this planner so that I could make some stickers using the same pattern. So this is the Archer and Olive Blusher By pattern. And I just think it's a really lovely, pretty floral. So I wanted to include it in some of the main spreads. So this is my June month to view. And I made these long stickers in Publisher and just printed them onto A4 matte sticker paper. And away you go. So placing them can be a bit fiddly. And also because the edges of this planner are curved, and obviously printing the stickers means that I have straight edges, I also then have to trim the edges. I did have a corner cutter, like a stamp cutter somewhere, but I can't find it for the life of me, so just having to trim down for now. So I'm trying to revive this channel because I've been needing a creative outlet. So obviously the world's gone crazy, everything's been going crazy, and I haven't been planning as much, and I certainly haven't done a plan with me in my bullet journal for quite some time. So I got this new planner. I got it free actually in an amazing Mother's Day sale that Archer and Olive did, and so I wanted to do a few plan with me's in this to see how I go, see how I enjoy it. So I'm cutting out more of the stickers here. You just saw me cutting out the days of the week for the headers for this monthly spread, and then this other banner is going to go along the other side. So I've already done the tabs for this myself as well, for this planner, again using the Blusher By pattern. So I did film myself doing that, and I've sped it up and shown how I fixed those. That's on my Instagram, which I'll link in the description bar. That's on my IGTV, just as a very quick video to show how I positioned them and how I did it. So I reinforced them this time. I've done planner tabs before, but I reinforced them this time with sort of doubling up the layer of sticker paper just to make sure they're really strong. My printer, printing onto this matte paper, it does wear off over time, so I just wanted to give it the best shot possible to keep it as strong as possible. So yes, as I said, so the world's gone crazy. Life is crazy, and my personal life has been really hectic. And it got to the stage when I was doing my plan with me's in my bullet journal where I felt that in the end what was happening was I was feeling more pressure to do the videos than I was enjoying the creative process. And so I've taken a good year or so of just doing what I want to do. I've also this year with my bullet journal not really done very many spreads. I was using a planner as well as my bullet journal, and I was finding it difficult to remain creatively inspired, and so I went back to basics. I got the Ryder Carroll book on bullet journaling, and I went really back to basics, and really I've only been using my bullet journal for taking notes and very simple bullet lists of what I need to do, what I have done. And then during this time of lockdown and self-isolation, my planning really has kind of gone to pot. So I really stripped everything back, and I was actually using the Hinch Lists book from Mrs. Hinch. Really simple, just a few bullets every day, making sure I was getting my essentials written down so that I was accountable for doing the things I knew I needed to do. And slowly but surely I've increased what I'm planning, and so now I feel like I'm back to a stage where even though I'm not planning very much, daily life hasn't gone back to normal yet. I'm still working full time, and I have done the whole time throughout, so it's important for me to keep planning and to keep this process going. So for each of these day covers, I measured out all of my columns in this planner, and then translated that into Publisher, so I knew that everything I printed would fit exactly in the boxes. So again, these little days are using the Blusher By pattern that I scanned from the back of the planner. So this is the first week in June. I don't know about you, but I love it when a month begins on a Monday. Something feels very clean about that idea. Yeah, just something feels very satisfying about starting the month on a Monday. But obviously last week across the world was pretty intense and pretty crazy, and so I didn't do a lot of planning. I worked as normal, and I had a few events going on online, Zoom calls I needed to pay attention to. But it's been difficult to know whether or not posting during this time and uploading during this time is the right thing to do. We're all in a position where, whether we have 10 followers or 10,000 followers, where we have a platform to share what's important. I wanted to share something creative and interesting I'd filmed already, so I wanted to make sure, I'm a completionist, I wanted to make sure I had the first week in June. It started on a Monday. First week in June, the first month in this new planner. I wanted to make sure I had this recorded, but I've posted a lot on my Instagram about what's going on in America and across the world with regards to the Black Lives Matter movement and how important it is to raise awareness and to make sure that we share everything that we can to make sure that we do better, and we need to do better. And it really is time for change. So I'm using a Unipin fine liner here. This is a sepia tone in the 0.5, just to fill in the dates. If you are joining me for the first time, it's lovely to have you here. Thank you for coming and tuning in, and I hope that you enjoy what I do with my planner, but also enjoy listening to me waffle on about life and all that is in it. And now hopefully some more of these plan with me videos, whether in my bullet journal or in this Archer and Olive B5 planner. These are the banners. I also used Publisher to make these, but the images came from Canva. You can sign up to Canva for a month free, and they have some amazing images. So I did a lot of searching for vintage photos, shabby chic. What else did I search for? Ephemera. Lots of different keywords that I used to get some of these really lovely vintage photos. And so the banners that I'm using today, it's a like a silver birch tabletop with some old letters, old photos, and a few other items on, just to give a lovely vintage feel. And I really liked the idea of having an effect in this layout of scattered old letters and postcards. So you'll see that carry on throughout. So you can see again, it's a little tricky to get these banners to stick. The sticker paper I'm using is only just a little bit heavier than normal paperweight, I think. I really love using lots of different textures in my bullet journal now. I've been using vintage papers and ephemera, but in this planner, because it's quite thick, the paper's really thick, so Archer and Olive paper is amazing. I didn't really want to overload the coil by making everything really layered up by using lots of different thickness of card and paper. So I thought I would use sticker paper for everything. So it means that I will create 3D effects, but really using a very, very two-dimensional material, so it's quite close to the original thickness of each page. And so for the date covers, the strips that I've done here, I used another photo from Canva of just a silver birch tabletop and lined up the days myself in Publisher, measured it all out so that it would fit. And what I did, I've got maybe 6 or 7 different styles of these day covers to suit all the different banners that I did, and I've printed quite a lot of those banners, so each week I'll just get to choose which ones I fancy for the week. There's some themed ones, so there's some more summery themed ones if the weather ever sorts itself out. We had an amazing spring and now summer's here and it's like, here comes the rain. So hopefully the weather will improve and I'll use the summery ones. I've got some lovely cool toned vintage Christmas ones as well, so that'll be here before we know it, and that'll be nice to use those. So just placing these down. What I've also done for the date, so for the number of the day, I've got tiny little squares that I've printed in different colours. So again, it's just a case of choosing which themed date cover and date number suits, and I'll place those down. So here we have some of the stickers that I have made. A lot of these were printed from, again, Canva images, so the elements section of Canva, searching for vintage postcards, all those sorts of little things. And then also I've searched Pinterest as well. So these are all my sort of ephemera stickers. And then these ones here I made again using the Blusher by Scanned Image. So I've got half boxes, full boxes, to-do list boxes, and then I've got a big stack of mini postcards as well. Again, they came from a Canva image that I used. So really just selecting what took my fancy and what I think will fit with the theme, and also what will fit on the page. I always think it's fascinating using craft supplies that are inspired by or use old images. I always wonder, you know, who the people were, what their story is. I wonder if they ever imagined that having their photo taken would mean they'd be stuck in someone's planner in years to come. Probably not. So this family sticker is actually scanned from a wooden sticker, which I never would have been able to fit in my planner because it just would have taken up way too much room. So a stack of wooden stickers have been now turned into flat stickers. So it still gives the nice feel, the look to it, but without adding bulk to the planner. So this postcard, that's the original size of the Canva image, but I just found it a little bit too big. So I used a smaller version that I'd resized just to fit on the page when I was printing the stickers, to be honest, because I had some extra white space, and when you're printing on sticker paper you want to use as much of it as you can. So I used a smaller postcard so that it fits in there. And so here I'm actually cutting chunks of spare scrap sticker paper because I didn't want to use a coloured date sticker on these because I felt like the muted tones just looked quite nice. So this just adds a white block at the ends of each strip so that I can write the date in there. But for a lot of my other themes, which are more colourful, I have other coloured squares that I'll use. So I'd love for you to come on this journey with me if you're new. I'd love for you to subscribe, and hopefully you'll enjoy what I post, and it'll spur me on to be regularly creative and to get back into planning properly so that I feel a little bit more in control. So I always find folding these planners over to begin with a little bit clunky. It's the type of coil does mean that sometimes it catches, and these amazing planners have got such thick card boarded covers that it can be a little bit tricky and get a little stuck, but I think once it's broken in a little bit, that'll be smoother. So at this point my daughter is asking me, Mummy, why do we have 2 small days for Saturday and Sunday? And I know a lot of planners really don't appreciate having smaller days for Saturday and Sunday. I don't particularly, because I work in a church, and so my weekend is pretty busy. I have an 8-year-old daughter as well, so Saturdays are normally really hectic. It's our only main day to do things together. And so to then only have these tiny little days for my busiest work day of the week and my busiest child day of the week is a bit annoying. So the little postcards that I've placed on each day, I'm going to use to kind of highlight something special about the day, almost like a memory I want to save or a really important meeting or call. And then this is just choosing a few more little bits of ephemera, some tickets, some buttons, all things that were scanned in or Canva images that I used. Again, just adding a little bit of texture but without the bulk. So yeah, for each of the postcards, it might be that I'm having a social distance date this week with a friend that I've not seen for ages. Or also we've been going through some film sagas. So the first one we did was we went through all the Star Wars films in order, and now we're going through the Marvel films in order, the chronological order, which is really interesting actually. And we're really enjoying doing that as a family. It forces us to actually sit down and spend time together. And the irony is, I don't know about you, but during lockdown, we're busier than ever, and sitting down and just decompressing, really, really important. So it's nice to be able to switch off. So there is my spread for the week, my first week in this new planner. I'm really excited to use it. And so here is the finished spread after pen, so you can see how I planned each day. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you did, and consider subscribing to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Also, please consider following me on Instagram. As I said earlier, that's where I'm posting a lot of information, trying to raise awareness and share as much as I can with regards to the Black Lives Matter movement. And I do continue to pray for and support everybody involved. It was lovely speaking to you today. Take care, have a good week, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.